The person goes, "Oh my God, you stink!" When they said that, she pulls out the blade.
She did.
What?
She did.
This had to.
Now
she took offense at her taking offense.
You know what though? I have a question about that.
It's
like,
meta.
would you say something? Like, do you say something?
When I say something to someone that passed gas,
that's what I'm wondering.
I personally wouldn't.
I would not.
I would just, let it go.
Dawn would.
Oh,
let it go.
Just let it go.
Dawn, you think Dawn would?
Oh my God, yes. She is the nose Nazi.
My wife would too. She would say something.
Anything offends her delicate nasal sensibilities, all hell breaks loose.
What would she say though? I mean, how does one go about that,
Yeah, how do you bring up the subject matter?
Excuse me, did that come from you?
Well,
and if so, what are you going to do about it?
Well, it is a normal, natural function of a living being. Yeah, how do you take it back?
Yeah, I know. Like, what are you going to do about it? Apparently,
lady, what do you want me to do?
Apparently, pull a knife and tell the victim that you're going to gut them. That's what she did. Yeah.
God.
Get a towel out. Get a towel out. Start flapping the towel. Maybe that would do.
So yeah, they had to arrest her for, basically threatening to gut somebody in a store because he complained about her passing gas.
Well, it doesn't surprise me this happened at a Dollar General store.
That's true. We're not talking like Bergdorf Goodman or anything.
We're not talking about Neiman Marcus here. We're talking about Dollar General. All right?
Yes. True. And I think
we're not talking about stores that I don't know the name of here.
And have you ever been to a Dollar General? You'll know what we're talking about.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Although I do kind of love them sometimes.
Oh, I hate them. They suck.
Hey, man, they got some weird stuff that I like to look at.
They're blaring country music the whole time, and you're trying to shop, and it all seems so cramped in there. And then, of course, the help is always snotty. What do you want?
That's true.
What can I do for you? Well, evidently nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking my business to Dollar Tree. Screw you.
I'll tell you what. I don't remember the actual name, but it has dollar in it because there are many, many stores that have dollar in their name. But it's right here in Aurora, Ohio, and that's where I go for my balloons with which I therapize my beloved mother. I buy 50 big-ass latex balloons, and, they're only $1. It's a good deal.
That is a good deal. That is a good deal. But, anyhow, what I'm saying is it's kind of a low-rent store. Does it surprise me that happened there? No.
It's totally a low-rent store.
Yeah.
It is literally a low-rent store.
Yeah. Exactly. So this was the story there. I was wondering if you guys wanted to talk about the super creepy story that I sent you. The story about the Watcher.
Yeah, we should talk about that because that is super creepy.
That's a creepy.
Let's talk about the Watcher. I mean, I read this whole thing before coming on air,
I did too, because
it's captivating.
Is this New Jersey? The New Jersey Watcher? Oh, I know that one. Yeah.
This is super. So for those of you, if you want to see the entire article, it's in The Cut. So thecut.com, and it's like a mystery story about the Watcher. And so you'd be able to find it under that by Reeves Weidman wrote the story. And so apparently this family in New Jersey bought this home. And I mean, it's a pricey home. It's a big home, right? So his name is Derek Broaddus, and he got a pretty good job at an insurance company in Manhattan. And they could afford this home that was $1.3 million at the time.
Ooh.
Yeah, they bought this home in New Jersey, really nice place in New Jersey, 657 Boulevard, just after Derek celebrated his 40th birthday, right? And it was right before Christmas. The kids were excited. They had three children. They start to sort of move in when all of a sudden these letters start arriving.
Oh, yes, the letters. Dearest new neighbor.
Oh man, these letters, man! And I do not easily get creeped out, especially by criminals. But this He said, "Do you need to fill the house with the young blood I requested?"
I don't know why. That's the best line in the letter, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Better for me. Was your
Yeah.
old house too small for the growing family, or was it greed to bring me your children? Like, it's he, and this person, if it is a he, maybe a woman, writes these letters, many different letters, and they talk about the house. They talk about the kids. They mention the kids by name. They talk.
Obviously, actually observing. That's
Yes.
the problem.
Yeah.
That's the part that's so scary, is that
The kinds of information that this person conveys in these letters could only come from physically being there and watching.
Well, it's
through the window.
generational, though. The Watcher is a generational thing. Because it goes in to say that.
Go ahead. Tell him what he said.
Grandmother, father, and now him or her is the next generation to watch this particular house. And it's so strange because when you read the header, it says, of course, the Watcher family, the dream home, but you would have thought it would have been some other creepy letter, but this is even creepier than what I was expecting. And some of the stuff that he writes, 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now. And as it approaches 110th birthday, its 110th birthday, I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for the second coming. What's the second coming? What is it? He doesn't say what it is.
It's crazy.
What's the second coming? Come on.
Who knows? I mean, and they're also the one that really, like, all the letters kind of scared me. I'm not going to lie, but the one that really got me is that Derek, the father, said that at night, right? So they turn all the lights out. You know how you do that, like at home, you turn all the lights out so no one can see you, you know? And he said that he used like binoculars and a telescope to kind of look around the neighborhood because they knew that this person had to be close.
Ooh, he
right?
got them under their skin is what he did. He really got in there.
So, like, the house is totally dark, and the family patriarch is, like, looking outside, trying to find somebody watching the house. But then another letter comes that describes Derek doing it.
Oh, no.
You turned your lights out. Binoculars and telescopes are wonderful inventions. Like, no. No.
Wow. I wonder if there could be some sort of remote viewing aspect, it's not physically really there, but have some sort of camera or something.
I was thinking that too, that maybe they're not right there, but there's a camera. Or maybe they're only there sometimes. Like maybe it's a family member that they visit and then they put those details in there. But they were saying the person would have had to been somewhat omnipresent in some ways because they knew things on a regular basis when they were there that they could never have known otherwise. They had to have been.
Well, it's got to be a neighbor. It's got to be one of the neighbors around them. Start questioning them and
well, they did. I mean, that's the thing. Is like it tore this neighborhood apart.
Oh,
because then the cops start talking to the neighbors, and then a lot of neighbors are becoming really offended. Like, what are you talking about? Like, these people just moved in. I've lived here for decades. I would never do something like that.
Yeah.
They're trying to take DNA from people, and then they try to sell the house. So the Broadduses try to sell the house because forget it. We're not moving in here. We're not endangering our children. And they try to sell the house, but then nobody wants to buy it because there's that law now that you have to disclose. Right?
Disclose what? That you're being watched?
You have to disclose criminal happenings at a house, like a death, right? You have to disclose that, or a haunting. Remember the case that kind of started that? So if your house is haunted, or if there's a crime, and this apparently in New Jersey anyway falls under like a statute of criminal harassment at that address,
so it has to be
have to disclose it. So and they showed the letters to prospective buyers, right? So prospective buyers would be on the hook, and they'd read the letters. And they would pull out. They're like, oh, heck no.
Well, did the old owners disclose this before they moved in? Did they say, oh, yeah, by the way, this is this creepy person that's going to be sending you letters, just so you know?
Yeah, right. No, so that's what the Broadduses started looking into. They're like, oh, come on. If the Watcher's been watching for this long, they had to have the Woods, the previous family, they had to know about it. So the Woods, they contact the Woods, and the Woods are like, well, yeah, I mean, we got letters, but
we just didn't think it was important enough.
Well, no, they weren't threatening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, supposedly, from what the Woods said, they only got a couple of letters, and the letters that they got said things like, "Thank you for taking care of my house." And the Broadduses, I think personally, the reason they started getting letters is because they started renovating the heck out of the house before they even moved in.
Oh yeah, all the workers.
That house is over 100 years old, and they started ripping it apart before they even moved. So they buy a $1.3 million home, and that's over 100 years old in an established community, and start ripping it apart, which clearly brought out the anger of this person.
Someone's ire. Yeah, got the Watcher's ire. Got the dander up on the Watcher. Decides going to send them threatening letters. Now, is there any clue who this might be? I mean, did they come up with any kind of thinking, any suspect list?
They had suspects in the neighborhood. Like, there was a particular, I guess, family that was a little,
strange.
Like something's not right. Yeah, and they weren't particularly friendly, and they lived in a good area to see all the stuff the Watcher said they saw. But the cops actually got DNA from this family, and it didn't match.
Wow, the cops are super serious about this.
Yeah, they were.
But
they
wait,
got into it.
How would they get the Watcher's DNA, though?
The letter. So the letters had.
They actually licked the letter.
That's my guess. Yeah, is that they licked the envelope.
What? The Watcher is not being very careful.
Hey, the Watcher. No, I think the Watcher was. I think the Watcher could have had somebody else lick the envelope.
That's true. Or used a towel, a damp towel.
I would.
Yeah.
I would have someone else. No, I'd have someone else lick it so their DNA was on it. I wouldn't use damp towel.
Oh, wow. Listen to you. You got it all figured out. If I was going to do this, I'm not saying I would, but if I was going to.
I'd find some random person at the post office, tell them I was on medication that dried up my saliva, and can you lick this for me so I can seal it? Thanks.
All the letters?
Wow.
Yeah, why not? No, use a damp towel.
No wonder you do so well.
I was going to say.
Criminal minds.
Listen to her.
Never do it
well,
yourself.
What about finger? Well, it's got to be fingerprints.
Gloves, man.
Yeah, that's
gloves
true
and gloves and like a typewriter, something like that. But I mean, typewriters can be traced too, so you got to be careful.
Oh.
Yeah, the specific typewriter. But then that's what they were using as a typewriter. So, but the thing that kind of bothers me about this entire case is, Joel, something that you said. You were like, yeah, the cops are taking this seriously. So in both, as far as I know, in both New Jersey and New York, there is a huge backlog of rape kits because they have never run the DNA, because supposedly there isn't enough money to run the DNA.
Yeah.
Yet you're running DNA on a guy that's sending weird letters to millionaires. Really?
Well, it's
you got
because,
money for that?
Clarissa, money talks and you know what walks. All right?
No. You're kidding.
Money talks, baby, and the poor people walk. That's just the way it is.
I know, and that does bother me about this. Are they victims? Of course they are. Do I feel bad for them? Of course I do. But there is a big piece of me that's like, wait a minute here. I don't get it. There are actual victims of actual violent crime.
You go ahead and you put the best security system money can buy into the house, right? You get a dog, and you call it a day.
No kidding.
That's
right?
all. That way they come up to the house. You got them anyway.
I'm like an awful human being. I would be like doing little tableaus, like little shows, little theater shows in front of my own windows.
Yes.
Why
I'm
not?
Even kidding. I would have like whole scripts. Like, we're gonna start upstairs and then we're gonna go all the way down. Like, yeah, I would. I'd have entire scripts.
It's just an extension of Halloween decorations.
Yeah, do a mock murder scene.
Exactly, right? And then they start sending you like letters about that. And then you have to like pretend to cover it up and burn the letters. Oh my God. I'd have an ongoing drama with this person.
So you're saying you'd be having fun with this person.
Absolutely.
So
oh my gosh.
These people though are terrified beyond terrified that their house is being watched.
Children though. They have children, so I get that. I do not, just so people are aware, I do not have kids, so at least not yet, so I would not be as worried about myself and Henry. No, I think I'd be leaving messages. I think I would be leaving like Zodiac type clues in windows for them. Scrabble board. for? You know, just, I mean, yeah.
I am the watcher.
I'm the walrus.
I am the
Eggman.
I kind of dig it. Yeah. I am not the type that is scared off easily, and clearly the Woods were not either. But they ended up suing the Woods family.
Oh, they did. Well, why?
Yeah.
Because they had no idea the Watcher was going to turn violent.
No, they didn't. But they sued him, basically saying like, "No, you got letters that were violent too, and you just didn't tell us."